Mothers, have you ever wondered how your baby develops throughout pregnancy? Fathers, when you found out you were going to have a little bundle of joy, did you think about how it was going to develop? Have you ever wondered how your baby was a perfect mix between your partner and you? I am going to inform you about how the fetus develops throughout pregnancy. I have done a lot of research on the internet and in books from the local library about how the fetus develops week by week. I know you guys already know a lot of information about pregnancy, but when you researched it, did you pay attention to the little details, such as when the baby can first open up its eyes? That's why I'm here. I am here to inform you that during pregnancy, the baby develops in 3 main stages: trimester 1, trimester 2, and trimester 3. Now that you know what this speech is about, let's talk about weeks 1 to 12, which is known as trimester 1. During trimester 1, there's 3 periods: germinal, embryonic, and fetal. The germinal period lasts from weeks 1 to 2. Biology in Focus says that rapid cell division occurs in these 2 weeks, and this process is called mitosis. Mitosis is a process of nuclear cell division. Human Development, a cultural approach, says that the zygote divides and it forms the blastocyte. The blastocyte is made up of 2 layers: the trophoblast and the embryonic disc. The pregnancy book says that the blastocyte then implants in the uterus and it forms 3 things: the amnion, the umbilical cord, and the placenta. The embryonic period lasts from weeks 3 to 8. The embryonic disc is in 3 different layers: the ectoderm, the mesoderm, and the endoderm. The ectoderm is the outer layer, the mesoderm is the middle layer, and the endoderm is the inner layer. Fetal development week by week says that in weeks 3 to 4, the heartbeat begins and the ribs, muscles, and digestive tract form. Weeks 3 to 8 consist of the arms and legs are now being developed, and the umbilical cord and the placenta are now functioning. The fetal period is from weeks 9 to 12. The genitals are now being formed and they release sexual hormones. The pregnancy book says that the baby can now respond to touch, and toenails, fingernails, and taste buds are now forming. The heartbeat can also be heard in an ultrasound. Now that you know about weeks 1 to 12, let's talk about weeks 13 to 24, which is known as trimester 2. During trimester 2, it is a critical time for growth and development. The baby grows rapidly in weeks 13 to 24. Fetal development week by week says that in month 4, the baby now has an enlarged liver, which holds all the red blood cells, which enables rapid growth to happen. The spinal cord now grows immensely, and it can be seen in an ultrasound. The pregnancy book says that in month 5, the baby grows rapidly in length and it doubles in weight. This happens because the fat goes underneath of the skin. Lifespan development says that the baby is now 14 inches in height and it weighs about 26 ounces. The bones now hold 12% calcium, which is not a lot compared to the adult bones that have 90% calcium. Trimester 2 is a critical time for organ development. The follicles of the ovaries and an egg in each cyst can now be seen. Human Development, a cultural approach, says that every baby starts out as a female, but if it receives a Y chromosome from the dad and it activates, then male organs now begin to appear. The pregnancy book says that the baby now has a complete face, made up of a mouth, a nose, eyelids, and eyes. The lower limbs are now being formed, and the foot is well formed with 5 distinct toes. Lifespan development says that from weeks 22 to 26, the earbud starts out as a neck, but as the jawline increases, then it goes back into its normal position. The baby now has reflexes and can hold on to the umbilical cord. The baby's senses are now being developed, and it can hear and remember sounds. Now that you know about weeks 13 to 24, let's talk about the final weeks until birth, which is known as trimester 3. Trimester 3 is the key period for brain development and growth. Even though the brain is immature, it still is developing. The surface of the brain folds over one another because a lot of nerve cells are being formed and it needs to hold all of them. The nerve cells are also gaining more myelin sheath, which isolates them from each other. This helps the baby's movements. Human Development, a cultural approach, also said that neurons are being created in vast numbers, up to 500,000 per minute, and the connections between them become increasingly elaborate. Lifespan development says that In week 28, the sleep-wake cycles are similar to that of a newborn infant. The baby is now also more aware of the environment and can hear and remember sounds. The baby grows rapidly and is ready for birth. In weeks 38, the baby now has sensations and it spends time exploring its body. The baby's skull bones also fold over another one, and the pregnancy book says that this helps create it easier for birth, and the gaps close after 18 months. In week 29, the baby sucks its thumb, which provides comfort and gives it time for feeding. The baby is now ready for birth. Now that you know the process of pregnancy, let's talk about the main points of pregnancy. The 9 months of pregnancy can be broken down into 3 main stages: trimester 1, trimester 2, and trimester 3. In trimester 1, there's the germinal, the embryonic, and the fetal periods. In trimester 2, there's a lot of growth and development. In trimester 3, there's brain development, and it's a critical time for rapid growth. Just imagine a pea, once just a ball of cells, is now filled with opportunities in life to become what we are today. Think about when you first found out that you were pregnant. Did you think about all the finances and how you were going to provide for the baby? And now after that baby is born, all your worries went away, and now you can spend time with your little angel. Can you believe it only took 9 short months to make a wonderful baby?